Hello everyone, so I'm Jo Clanfield from Teach Outdoors, and today I'm joined by Victoria Bays, who's an occupational therapist and a sensory integration practitioner. Hello Vicky.
Hello.
So Vicky, just for everybody at home, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your job involves, please?
Yeah, of course. So as an occupational therapist, we like to understand how people occupy their time, and that's to support them to engage in life's activities. We believe that participation in meaningful activities supports well-being. I've worked as an occupational therapist for 11 years. I've spent majority of my career within the field of mental health. And through my work, I became more intrigued about the sensory nature of everyday activities, how individuals' response to sensation may impact their day-to-day activities, and how we can use the senses to support participation. So now I'm an occupational therapist and a sensory integration practitioner. I'm working in independent practice with individuals across the lifespan, children, adults, and we're really looking at how we can use meaningful activities and the senses to support well-being.
So Vicky, you've done a lot of courses for us and supported us with outdoor learning. And today we've actually invited you along to talk about the course that you're leading, which is about using your outdoor space to support children with a diagnosis of autism. So can you tell us a little bit more about what that training will include, please?
Yeah, so I think that the training will give a understanding of those who've received a diagnosis of autism or children within the classroom who you suspect have some social and communication challenges. To understand some of those challenges more, to also understand, as I said, I'm a sensory integration practitioner, so to really start to understand how these children react to sensation, and how different environments, the sensations within those environments can sometimes be quite challenging for these children, and they can feel quite overwhelmed. So really looking at how we can support them and which strategies might be the best strategies to use to ultimately support them to engage in academic learning, as you said, using outdoor learning environments.
Well, it's a really interesting one for me because obviously as a classroom teacher, especially now with COVID and everything, we get children who present signs of autism, or you think they may be on the spectrum somewhere. And it's actually often, how do you support those children? Like those strategies to support them. And I've seen myself that actually taking them outside, those children can behave really completely differently. And often there's a very calming nature to it. So I'm very excited about this training that you're doing, Vicky. So for everybody at home then, so how will the training support you? So who will benefit from it, and who does the training look at supporting?
Yeah, so I think anybody could benefit from this training: teachers, teaching assistants, Senkos, even parents, supporting home education, or just parents wanting to understand how to support their children more. So what we're really looking at is, as I said, an understanding of these challenges, and just really starting to unpick, if you've got children who, who might take themselves away, who might seem quite isolated, seem that they need that sort of quiet space and that, time away, how we can draw them in. And like you say, how outdoor learning environments can be fantastic calming ways to draw some of those children in. But also for some children who might get quite easily overwhelmed by different environments. Sometimes classrooms can be very noisy environments. There can be an increase in smells. There can be an increase in touch from other children, other adults, because of the close vicinity that you're in within the classroom. And children can also feel quite easily overwhelmed by some of those things that for other children they just don't even notice. So what we can look at is how we can use outdoor learning, how we can use some of those strategies to really start to support those children to engage with the curriculum, and really support them to be able to regulate some of that sensation that they might find quite tricky to manage and might feel quite overwhelmed by. So again, we're supporting them to feel more regulated, to feel happier and more content, and alongside that, then to be able to increase their engagement and their success really in supporting their academic learning.
Yeah, sounds brilliant. I think, like I said, as teachers, we've all had children that we really struggle to support and know strategies. So it's really useful to find out how we can utilise our outdoor space, because every school has some outdoor space, even if it's just a small bit of tarmac. So yes, I think this training session will be, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be really good. So when I attend them, Vicky, what are the key takeaways? What am I going to go away thinking, yes, I know how to do this?
Yeah, so I think the key thing will be to, I suppose, understand some of these challenges from the perspective of that child, really starting to understand what's going on for them. How do they feel just sitting in the classroom, being in a classroom? And really starting to understand why they might find certain aspects really quite tricky. And then what we're looking at is different strategies, using the outdoor learning spaces to really start to support these children. I think also acknowledging the sensory nature of outdoor learning environments. So actually you know, exactly like you said, the calming nature of those spaces, but also for some children, it might be that actually they do find these spaces a little bit overwhelming, even being outdoors. So actually, how can we support those children to access the outdoor learning environment? So I think, yeah, just different ideas, different understanding of ways to really support these children. And I think we're just looking at, like you said, throughout this training, it's probably similar takeaways, but actually what we're trying to do is each different area, whether it be trauma, whether it be, praxis related challenges, whether it be children who've received a diagnosis of autism, there are different ways to understand what's going on for these children. So actually each of the training will promote those differences, and really start to build that understanding, and look at the strategies that we can use, and how incredible outdoor learning environments can be to support these children.
Right, sounds really good, Vicky. Thank you very much. We hope you can all join us on Vicky's training. If you've got any questions, then please feel free to get in touch. See you all soon. Thank you.